What is going on, guys? My name is West Coast 22. I appreciate you being here. This is going to be my first foray into YouTube Madden NFL football. I've played Madden, not recently. Used to be big on Madden when it first came out. But I really wanted to try this year's game, try franchise. And I figured, you know what? Why not make a franchise series on YouTube? I do it for baseball. I do it for MLB The Show. If you haven't checked those videos out, make sure you do that. But I figured let's get a franchise series in for YouTube for Madden and see what happens. I really don't know a ton about Madden. I know a ton about football, but I'm not a huge Madden guy, so there's probably going to be a lot of things that I do, and a lot of you are going to say, what the hell is that guy doing? Totally fair. Let me know what I'm screwing up on so I can fix it. I would greatly appreciate that. So, we're going to start the franchise. I've heard and I've kind of seen within my own that there are some online franchise problems just with random disconnects and stuff like that, with the score glitch where, you play a game, you leave, whatever. And the game gives you 0 points. So I've heard and read that if you play offline, you don't have those problems. So we're going to give it a chance. We're going to play the offline just because I don't want to deal with any problems here. So we're going to go into offline and we're going to start our franchise. If any of y'all know me, you know I'm a Seattle fan. Seattle, everything except for college. So we are going to jump into the Seahawks here just because it's what I do. Not what I wanted to do. Not what I wanted to do at all. Didn't set my settings at all. Oh, no. Okay, hold on. See, instead of just editing this out, I'm just going to save it. I'm just going to save it in the video so you guys see how ridiculous I am with not knowing what to do. So attempt number 2 for starting the franchise the way that I want to start it. Starting point, I'm going to start in the preseason just because I want to be able to make the initial cuts. I don't trust the game will do what I want it to do. Change role is going to be owner, and we are going to be financial mogul just because y'all know me. West Coast is the name. Always will be. So that will be the name that we're going to roll with. We're going to accept leaks out. I don't think I'm going to change much here. So with this franchise, guys, this is going to be a little bit different of a franchise. I know other people that I've seen around YouTube do something similar or do this, but I thought it was a really good idea. I'm not going to play the games, right? I'm not a good enough Madden player. I don't want to deal with that. But at the same time, I'm not just going to straight hit a button and simulate. So what's going to happen is I have some sliders that I've seen online, and we are going to play CPU versus CPU. We are going to watch the game, not real time. I'm going to record the game, splice up the highlights, and then kind of give the highlights at the end of every episode so we can see everything. So, we're not going to miss out on anything. You're also not going to have to watch me play a full game or whatever and just be terrible. So I'm going to splice up the highlights like a SportsCenter type package. We're going to commentate the highlights, and that's what we're going to do here. I don't know how many games we're going to do per episode, but that is the goal I had. That's the idea I have. If you're not interested in that, hey, cool. I appreciate you. If you want to see some actual gameplay, this series is probably not for you. I really enjoy the CPU. I think it's fun to watch what happens, learn what type of skills and type of players that you need to make CPU versus CPU successful. And it's also really cool to watch the highlights. I think that's dope. So we're going to do that. I don't think there's anything that I need to change here. This is all pretty consistent. Breakout, fine. I don't change it any of that. Quarter length, I do change that. So because we're doing CPU versus CPU, if you do 6 minutes, you're not going to get realistic scores. So based on what I've seen, we go 12 minutes with an accelerated clock and a 20 minimum play clock time because it takes it off. It takes down the 20 other runoff from 40 to 20, makes the game hypothetically realistically go faster, which is pretty nice. Everything's going to be manual, though. No tutorial pop-ups. I clearly know what I'm doing. Fill roster. I probably shouldn't do that, but it's only a random free agent if we get an injury, so we're just going to do this. So, I think we're good. Don't think we screwed anything up. So we're going to start. But I do need to fix the sliders, though, before we get moving. So, franchise, gameplay sliders. Let me adjust these things to what they need to be. So you don't sit here and watch this whole thing. Let me adjust it real quick. Give me a couple seconds. Be right back. All right, so we got this figured out. Given credit where credit is due. This is from Operation Sports Forum. Obviously, the Madden section. This is from a guy named Playmakers who does sliders, CPU versus CPU sliders, user versus CPU sliders for years and years. So we're taking what he's kind of done. So props to him. I'm not going to take credit for these. This is his baby, so we're taking it. Just to let you guys know where I'm getting these sliders from. These can be adjusted. The game did just come out, so these might be adjusted slowly. Especially I might adjust them if I see certain things, if completion percentages are too high, stuff like that. So I'm not going to guarantee that I won't touch these, but we'll see. Because we're CPU versus CPU, I know some of you are like, hey, you changed the player. Why? Don't know why. I just do it. I don't need to do it because we're not playing. There's no player. But I still do it just in case there's any craziness going on within the engine. I just like everything to be the same, just in case there's any issues. So this is what we're doing here. High penalties, but I've watched a couple of games, and it's maybe like 5 penalties per game. So even the 99 is not high enough, but that's all we can do. So we're going to save that. I think there's one other thing that I have to change here. Whoops. I don't think it's in league settings either. God, maybe I should have, remembered how to do this so I don't look like an idiot. It's probably game options. Okay, here it is. So again, I don't think this plays a big part either. Heat seeker off. Oh, I've already said all this stuff. I only think this stuff happens if you actually play. But this is what it says on the forums. So I'm just making sure that everything is up to par. So, there's no issues here. So, I'm not going to play these preseason games. Not going to worry about the preseason. The only reason why I'm not skipping through them is simply because I want to be able to make the cuts. And last time I did it, when I said go to regular season, they did all the cuts for me. Don't want that to happen, so I'm going to do it myself. I'm still kind of learning what type of players you want to put here. My assumption is star players who are kind of youngish. When I was doing a franchise just kind of on my own, going through 5 or 6 seasons, typically it was put your rookies. Any rookies that potentially have star or superstar X factor, just so they can get going faster. So I'm sure there's a better strategy. I'm not really the type of player to min-max. I really just try to have fun. This franchise series is not going to be about making all these crazy trades and doing all these crazy things. I want to build this team strictly through the draft and who I have. Doesn't mean I won't make a trade here or there if it's realistic. That doesn't mean I won't trade down in the draft if there's just nobody that I'm really in love with. But it's going to be super realistic, and there's not going to be many trades. I want to build this team through the draft and kind of go that way. So hopefully it's a little bit different than what's already on YouTube. I'm sure there's somebody out there that has done kind of the same thing. This is what's fun to me. This is what I do in my baseball thing too. I don't think it's super fun to just make a bunch of crazy trades. Those are rebuild type videos, and people who make the rebuild videos are awesome. Just not what this is going to be. So we're pretty much just going to sim 3 weeks. I'm not really concerned here. We'll upgrade at the end. I'm not going to lose their upgrade points. I'm just trying to get through the preseason as fast as I can so we can get to the cuts and then get to the regular season And I mean, we'll probably do a couple things, and then we'll get right into. Well, for me, it'll be recording the game. For you guys, it'll be right into the highlights. So you guys are gonna be fine. Me, it's gonna take some time to splice and edit all this together, but hopefully it'll be fun. We'll see what happens. So there's week 3. Oh, perfect. And this is the problem with actually playing or actually simming, because now Game Jackson and Jordan Brooks are both out for a short while. Super. So we get 2 injuries. That's not ideal. Luckily, there is a bye week, though, so that'll take one of the injury weeks, which is nice. Let's hope we can avoid a 3rd injury. That's crazy to get 2 in the second week in one game in the preseason. It happens, but oof, brutal. All right, we didn't get any injuries. Now we can upgrade. So typically with upgrade for the top tier players, I will do the upgrades for the players that are like 63 overall. I don't care about that. I probably shouldn't even do the puncher either. But for see, and this is another part of what I'm still trying to learn. Like, I know the scheme fit is important, but how important are these? Like the speed rusher, the power rusher, how important is that to get everything kind of moving up together? Try to get everything even, like get everything to 75 or so before we start pushing run stopper? Or is the scheme fit so important that you need to dump into that? That's what I don't know. That's the kind of stuff that I need to learn to make these players the best that I can, especially since I'm not playing them. They are going to be simulated. So we'll do Wagner because he's my boy. He's up there. We'll do run stopper. We'll add to the scheme. And the rest will probably just be autoed. Because why not? All right. So that's that. We will advance the week. We'll get to the last week or the bye week here. We'll skip it. We have to cut 21 players. A majority of this should not be difficult. 36 overall. Good Lord. So a majority of this should not be difficult. It's really the last like 2 or 3 that are sometimes up in the air, because of what I've realized with Madden is that they want you to cut players that are 27, 28, 29. That costs you some money if you have some depth. So I feel like they're always trying to cut cap, which is not always the best thing to do, especially if you have an idea of what you want to do. So I don't like them making the last couple picks, because some of them would have cut D. Eskridge on my other franchise when he was like 26 and he was like 80 overall. No, we're not cutting D. Eskridge. What the hell? No. Something like this, though, $2.5 million. Yes, I'm taking a hit. But he's 66. I'm not going to play him. Travis Homer, real life. I love him, but nah. How many running backs do I have? 4. See, DJ Dallas is 5 years younger, and that's why they want me to cut Alex Collins instead. And that's fine. Stuff like that. I just like to be sure. We have 4 more players to cut still. Alden Smith's 31. That's probably not a terrible cut. Benson Mayoa. Kerry Hyder. Let's see. Ends. 3 ends on there. 4 ends and 2 corners. Holy Lord. Okay, hold on. We have 4 left ends. And okay, so we're definitely a little too high on ends here. But I think Harry Hyder's the pick here. He's 30 years old. Rasheem Green is 6 years younger. And this guy's $4 million. All these guys are terrible. And they're all old, too. They're not terrible. They're all old. So that's the one thing with the Hawks. With my other franchises, ends were so important to get really, really quick because of how poor they are. There's no youth. So it's going to be tough. But that's what the draft is for, right? 30 years old, Mayo, we're probably going to cut him. Yes, he's 73. Yes, he's our starter, but he's 30. And these guys are younger and at least I'll give them some playing time to get better. Right end, it's Kerry Hyder, 4 mil. Let's get him down, get Rasheem Green. I mean, Dunlap's probably done the end of this year. I'm not sure what their contracts are off the top of my head, but again, they're 32 and 31, so they want me to cut corners too. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 corners. Trey Brown's 23. Ugo Amadi's 24. Demarius Randall's probably the guy to go because he's 29. Well, I probably could just cut 2 corners. I probably could just cut Pierre and then cut here, and that's probably it. Yep. So, not bad. But some of you probably would have made different choices. Again, I'm still learning. If there's things that I'm doing wrong or incorrect, please let me know. I don't really want tips or like tricks or quote unquote exploits. Not looking for that. Just some knowledge on what to do, what not to do. This is why you don't do that. Stuff like that. But I'm not really looking like there's some scouting. Here's how to find Superstar X Factor every single time. Come on, man. That's not what I want to do. For some people, it's fun. That's not what I'm looking to do. So, manage staff. Actually, we need to advance the week first. All right, let's advance the week. Let's get to the regular season. Actually, this might be the bye week first. Yeah. It's not the bye week. Never mind. This is regular season. So, let's go to manage staff first. Franchise staff. Where am I starting out at? Never reach 4th down. That's not. Come on, man. Come on. Let's win the turnover battle. Let's sack the quarterback, man. Let's sack him 3 times. And let's pass. Don't think we have the running game, but with Russell Wilson, pretty sure that we can get past. Weekly game plan. 5+ sacks. I think that's a lot. Throw 2+. Probably easy points there. Okay. All right. We'll do that for goals. Talent tree. Again, this is another thing. I don't hypothetically know what's the best. Like, I think for the head coach, that one is really incredible. Just from reading it. Scheme fits get better training points. So I think that's a huge one. The slower regression rate's fun, but that's only for 1 season. We've seen enough. You get every season, which is pretty cool if you can draft some hiddens. But really, I think it's offense and defense. This is where the points need to go. And I like going defense first. Defense wins championships, baby. Defense wins championships. So we're going to do that. All right, the weekly game plan. Again, this is something I need to get better at. To specifically game plan for certain things. Defensive game plan, defend the outside run. I'd rather... I mean, yes, this is their best player, but I feel like Madden is a passing game. You know what I mean? Yes, it's Carson Wentz, but man, especially with these sliders too, I don't know how they're going to work, and I don't want Carson Wentz just to go crazy on me. The offensive game plan, they have to force Buckner. They allow a lot of pass yards. Throw it short. I mean, we have DK Metcalf. We have Tyler Lockett. Let's go throw medium. Again, these are things that I need to get better on, and I get it. I'm sure there's something that's always good. I'm still learning the tendencies and how to train and how to do all that. Hope we get out with no injuries. That's the goal. Gosh, I wish this was faster. Holy Lord. You know what? I can just go back and see if there's an injury. Ridiculous. All right. No injuries. Managed roster. Don't think there's anything I'm going to change here before we go into our first game here. Gabe Jackson's hurt. That's absolutely terrible for our offensive line. Hopefully Russell Wilson get rid of the ball quick because his left side is going to be in some trouble. We have two. I mean, a lot of 2 tight end sets, hopefully. Got the DK Metcalf, got Tyler Lockett. Defense, don't think there's anything to change here either. Sometimes there's crazy depth chart moves that the CPU does, but this looks pretty legit. All right, so again, week 1 against the Indianapolis Colts in Lucas Oil Stadium. Again, I'm not going to play. For me, it'll be a lot longer. For you guys, give it a couple seconds. This game is going to start, and we'll go over the highlights of week 1 of the 2021-22 Seattle Seahawks season, traveling to Indianapolis to take on the Colts. Hope you guys enjoy it. Hope it's something different-ish than you guys are used to. But let's go. Week 1. Week 1 of the NFL season here as Carson Wentz makes his first start in a Colt uniform. Seattle hoping it is not a successful debut for Carson Wentz. 3 plays in, Wentz finds some room on the right side, tries to take himself, but Jamal Adams lays the wood. The ball is loose, and Al Woods recovers for the Seahawks. Great start for Seattle, and here comes Russell Wilson, 95 overall. Wilson drops back, finds Tyler Lockett all by himself. Just kidding. Muscles the ball away from the cornerback, walks into the end zone from 27 yards out, and an early 7-0 Seattle lead. After a Colts punt, 3rd and long from their own 34-yard line, Wilson throws deep. Looking for Tyler Lockett again, who's got a few steps and hauls in a 53-yard gain down to the 13-yard line. And just like that, Seattle is in business again. 2 plays later, Russell Wilson looks right, fires a jump ball, and looks for who else? Tyler Lockett. Muscles the ball away for a second touchdown in 6 minutes. And it's a quick 14-point lead for Seattle. After a couple of positive plays here for Indianapolis, Carson Wentz has plenty of time to find somebody, throws deep down the right side, but Quandre Diggs steps in front of it and picks off Carson Wentz. The second turnover of the quarter for the Colts, and things are not going well in Carson Wentz's debut. 2nd and 10 now, eventually, for the Seahawks. And Russell Wilson will look to find the new receiver for the Seahawks, 2nd-round draft pick, D. Eskridge. There he is, his first NFL catch, 15 yards. Congratulations to that young man. Plenty of more to come in his career. Now across midfield, Wilson has until about week 3 of the season to throw this ball. Finds new tight end Gerald Everett all by himself for 35 yards down to the 12-yard line. Way too much space. Now 3rd and 10. Colts need a big stop. Russell Wilson tries to set up the screenplay. Does not work. Holds Seattle to 3. About a minute to go in the quarter. Another a fumble. This time I believe it was Bobby Wagner who hits Marlon Mack. The 3rd turnover of the quarter. And Seattle recovers it. Start of the 2nd quarter, finally something positive for the Colts as Bobby Okereke blitzes up the gut, gets to Wilson for their first sack. But whatever you can do, I can do better. Al Woods up the middle, gets Carson Wentz on their next possession for Seattle's first sack of the season. Seattle's ball now, they're driving. 1st and 10 from the 39 with the play action. Finds DK Metcalf for a 19-yard gain down to the 20. About a minute later, after a Seahawks false start, Wilson finds the 2nd-round draft pick again. D. Eskridge across the middle for a first down and a 1st and goal situation from the 3-yard line. Seattle now in the I form. A quick handoff to fullback Nick Bellore, who puts it in nice and easy, and it is an insane 24-0 lead in week 1. The traveling fans love it here in Indy. First play after the kickoff. Indianapolis needs something big. They look to the quarterback. Carson Wentz finds T.Y. Hilton across the middle for 27 yards, gets some yards after the catch, and is taken down. Some positivity there for Indy. They try to keep the chains moving on the drive, but on third down, he tries to scramble forward himself, but is held up, does not get the first, and Indy is forced to punt again. Seattle's next possession, Indianapolis trying to limit anything further. 3rd and short. Chris Carson doesn't care, finds a gap up that left side, big 10 yards, and keeps the ball in Seattle's hands. Ball now near midfield. Russell Wilson in trouble, has to rush, flush from the pocket, finds some space on that right side, takes a big hit. Don't like seeing that, but does get 15 big yards down to the Colts 35. Under 50 seconds to play now in the first half. Wilson finds his running back out of the backfield. Chris Carson tries to get in, but is stopped short at the 2-yard line. They choose to not use a timeout, gives it to Carson again, and this time he finds the end zone. Carson's first touchdown, I believe, yes, first touchdown, 31-0. First half stats, Seattle is outgaining Indianapolis 311-95. The first Seattle possession of the second half, Wilson tries to make something happen, rolls left, looks for DK Metcalf, but Rock hit his picks off by Rock Ya-Sin of the Colts. Something positive for Indianapolis, hoping that will turn it around as they are down 31 to start the half. It amounts to nothing, unfortunately, as the Colts go 3 and out. Next drive for the Seahawks. Wilson avoids the sack here, finds DK Metcalf. Look at this catch from DK. Oh, both feet down. Beautiful catch. And keep the chains moving. After Chris Carson gets another first down, Russell Wilson drops back, looks for his tight end, finds Will Dissly across the middle here for 18 yards, but that's not the big part of this play. Damian Lewis gets hurt on the play. Seattle already dealing with offensive line depth issues. Hopefully that's not a big deal. 3rd and 4 now. Seattle trying to do something on 22. Indianapolis desperately needs a stop. Rolls left, tries to find somebody, has nothing, is forced to throw it away. Indianapolis holds to a field goal, a minor victory for them. Colts, 3rd and 7 here, trying to find T.Y. Hilton for a big gain of 19 yards. Finds him just across midfield to the 48, trying to get something on that scoreboard besides that 0. The same drive here, Colts with another 3rd down. Wentz finds Desmond Patton all by himself on the sidelines for an easy first down to keep the chains going. 1st and 10 now in the red zone. Wentz finds Marlon Mack out of the end zone, tries to get across the goal line, but can't do it. Stopped at the 1. But after Wentz is stopped on first down, they hand the ball right back to Marlon Mack, who gets the first point of the Colts season, but they still trail 34-7. First play of the fourth quarter now, 3rd and 1, and Chris Carson just continues to find green. 15 more yards. Colts having trouble stopping the running game now. Very next play, Chris Carson does it again. This time follows fullback Nick Bellore, finds some space on the right side. 20 more yards for Chris Carson. 2 straight plays, Carson gets a break. Rashad Penny comes in with his first touch. Gonna find the left side, gonna find some room. Makes one guy miss right here, and he is in. 37 yards for Rashad Penny. 1 touch, 1 touchdown. Cannot be more efficient than that. Seattle gets the touchdown back, and it's now 41-7. 8 minutes to go in the fourth. Colts got to go for it. They got to try something here. Wentz finds Zach Pasquale. He's looking for him on the left side, makes the catch, but he is out of bounds. So it is a turnover on down. Seattle in the red zone again. Russell Wilson finds Gerald Everett, streaking across the middle, 16 yards. Another 1st and goal for Seattle. The Colts do get him to 4th down, and an interesting call here. Seattle tries to go for it. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Trying to step on the throat. Chris Carson gets a yard, but does not get in. So the Colts do hold. Last gasp for Indy here, trying to end the game with some positivity. Finds Jack Doyle for 17 yards, but it ends up getting to nothing. The Colts punt. Seattle takes a knee. And Seattle dominates week 1 of the 2021-22 NFL season, going into Indy and thrashing the Colts 41-7. Russell Wilson tosses for 309 yards, 2 scores. Carson ends up getting 161 on the ground, and Seattle holds the Colts to just 308 yards of total offense. So there you have it, guys. Week 1 is in the books. The Seahawks absolutely stomp on the Colts. And the interesting part about that is I did kind of a practice franchise with just the first game, just did a dry run. Same thing, didn't change anything. Sliders were all the same. The only thing I changed was I did the cuts in the preseason. When I did this one, the Colts beat us 45-35. So definitely a ton of randomness as we win the game 41-7. Got the turnover battle for goals, got the 275 plus yards, didn't sack the quarterback 3 times, so that's kind of unfortunate. But we did get some staffing points, which was good. I mean, now that the commentary is over, if we look at the box score, 514 yards of total offense, 236 of that is rushing. Of course, Rashad Penny gets 1 rush, 37 yards, and ends up in the end zone. Russell Wilson gets 36 of his own, but Chris Carson gets 161. Carson Wentz just was held. The first time in the dry run, Carson Wentz absolutely obliterated us. This time, only 15 of what? 25. I mean, which is not great, but it's not the worst thing in the world. 15 to 25 for 172. It was those turnovers in the first half for the Colts that completely killed them. I don't think there were any turnovers in the second half, which was huge for them. But our defense played well. You see Colts fired the first top guys in tackles simply because we ran the ball so damn much. But I'll definitely take a pick from Diggs. That's a good start to his season. So yeah, I'm hopefully that went okay. Hopefully that was cool. Hopefully it was fun to kind of have some commentary on just the highlights and not watch every 1st and 10 run for 1 yard. I mean, if you guys want to see any changes or want me to do things a little bit differently, please let me know. I'm open to things that you want, that you guys might want to see, things that you don't want to see. I'm definitely open to making some changes, but that's going to be the gist of this, guys. It's going to be do the weekly game plan, do a couple small things, go right into the game, and then go into the post and kind of talk about the game a little bit, and that's going to be it. We're probably just going to do 1 week per episode. I mean, unless there's a bye week, and then we'll do 2, but this takes a little bit long for me to do. Got to watch the whole game, type up the commentary, splice together the actual game. So the editing part takes a long time, even if the video may not be that long. So it's the only reason why I probably won't do 2 weeks in 1 episode. But guys, I appreciate you so very much. Again, let me know if you guys like this, if you guys want to see something different. Hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe. Check out my other videos. Look in the description. I do stream on Twitch. Grab me on Twitter. Come say hi. Come say what's up. Thank y'all so much for watching. I appreciate you. Be good to each other. Go Hawks, baby.